Hi yogis, hi friends. Welcome to our practice. Got two worn out dogs and two slightly worn out friends in the back practicing with us today. I'm back from my adventure in Vermont, feeling recharged and fantastically beautiful day here back in Michigan. See if we can drop into our practice and forget about everything else going on in the world and in your minds. See if we can just attend to our physical selves and drop into a nice calm and even place. So find a comfortable place for your body to begin, perhaps in half lotus or virasana, maybe sitting in a chair today, maybe up against a wall. The beauty of practicing on your own, nobody sees what you're doing. You can just kind of fall into your own space. If you're seated, find some grounding points, your sit bones, bottom of the pelvis, attaching us to the earth, a stable foundation, a platform, a connection, this wonderful grounding. Maybe feel the tethering, the release of the tendrils from the sit bones down into the earth and finding our roots, this stable base we rise off of. So with that sense of grounding, start to feel the lifting. Anatomically, the musculature around your spine. The erector spinae muscles, getting rid of some of the forward bend and pulling us back up into an upright position. And certainly the energy is lifting. Close your eyes. When we close our eyes, we block out the visuals, cut down on the distractions, and takes us in. Go inside your internal architecture for a moment here and see what's being fed back to your brains. Position sense and discomforts, alignment. What's happening in your mind this morning, this afternoon, depending where you're at. Maybe a racing mind, maybe so many things going on. Certainly a sign of the times, lots of information coming at us. And again, this is a time to see if we can let all that go. So maybe identify it, that the brain is moving 1,000,000 miles an hour, and let's slow it down, put the brakes on. Best way to do this is through our breath. Our breath is the most potent part of our practice. Remember, this is the breath of intention. It's our conscious breath, not the same breath that just sustains us, but our yogic breath. We know that inhaling through the nose helps to warm and hydrate and purify the air. When we breathe in through the nose especially, it's the best way to bring in all the fresh and best prana. So sip it in through the nose, feel it as it comes in. Goes deep down into your lungs, inflates the lungs. We can feel the size of the rib cage start to expand. And as you exhale through the pursed lips, you hear and feel the exhaust and the debris as it's escorted out of our bodies. This conscious breath, this inhalation, exhalation components, adding some onto the inhale and some onto the exhale, completes the breath. So today, as we sit, as we always do, for about a minute, see if you can concentrate on the exhalation component to be maybe twice as long as the inhalation. It's another potent stimuli for our brains to realize that we're moving into relaxation. We unclutter our minds and we get to task at hand, the practice. Okay, beautiful yogis sitting all around the world, let's see if we can envision each other in our own little spaces, practicing separately, but practicing together. Before you open your eyes, take your thumbs, cross them like bird wings, so lightly over the heart center, right in the center of the chest. It's the heart chakra. It's our compassion center. Feel your heartbeat inside your chest. We never lose sight of the magnificence of that heartbeat, pumping our blood, our prana, our life force through us, keeping us healthy and alive and vibrant. Feel the warmth in the palms on the outside of the body. And stop for a moment here to feel your humanness. Blink your eyes open, look at the front of your mat. Bring the gaze back up, maybe a different awareness. Helium hands up to the sky they go. Fingertips touching the ceiling, out the roof, out into infinity. That rise. With that rise, we feel the grounding. What a wonderful feeling of this connection, and yet this unlimited capacity to lift and free yourself. Pull your low ribs in. Back bend your upper back and look up at your thumbs and see how your upper back opens. We lose some of the roundedness that thoracic spine takes on from all the sitting. Bring your head back between the elbows, touch your palms together, interlace your fingers, index fingers to the sky or steeple hands. Just another fine-tuned pinpoint out the fingertips to the sky and sit bones into the earth. Try your side winders here, opening through the waistline, creating a longer waist right from the top of the pelvis to the bottom of the rib cage, and then the ribs start to open, the musculature releases. Come back to neutral, press your palms together, inhale, and on your exhale, slowly lower down through main central. Third eye, tip of the nose, lips, throat, onto your big heart. Pause on the heart, rise up through the heart. Inhale, and on your exhale, spin your hands to the earth and let's release our neck. Hold the right hand to the earth, a little bit more integrity as you inhale, and exhale, let the left ear soften into the left shoulder. Remember, non-striving. This is not about pulling it down, but it's recognizing where the hold is and softening. Marry the breath with the movement. Every exhalation, maybe go a little deeper into your accessible range. Let's take the left hand today on top of the head, the right side of the temple, and don't pull it, but just encourage a little bit more movement. Just free that up some. See if you can feel more of the lengthening to the right side. Inhale, put your hand back down, find that left hand as your anchor, and on the exhale, let the right ear go. Soften in. It's your spine in a side bend. It's the muscles starting to lengthen. It's the connective tissues being hydrated. So much going on. See if you can identify where the spot is for you that needs a little extra help. Take the right hand, left side temple. Inhale, and on the exhale, encourage it to lengthen on the left, not really a pull, but just another point of contact. Release the hand back down to the floor. Inhale the head back up, and on the exhale, left hand turn with your chin on a horizon line. Let's ride the wave today. So rather than just taking it straight around, see if you can come up and down a little bit as you bring it around. And at the end of the range, do that nod. Bring it back to rest and see if, oh my goodness, it goes a little bit farther. Inhale back through center. And on the exhale, ride the wave over to the side. So nod your head as you make a right hand turn. See if you can carve out your path. Each one of us, resistance in different spaces. Come to rest at the end and see if maybe you have a little bit more look over right shoulder. Beautiful. Inhale back to center, and on the exhale, take it around to the left, and look what you've done already. Cleared out the path. Let's go a bit deeper now. Inhale. On the exhale, hold the right hand to the floor and bring your chin out towards or to that left shoulder point. Your acromial process, it's the tip of the shoulder blade there. See if you can find that or wherever your neck or chin can reach to. Beautiful. Inhale back through center. Exhale, take it around to the right. Inhale, exhale, take it out again. Touch your chin over towards acromial process. Inhale back through center, yogis, and on the exhale, tuck your chin into the jugular notch between the two collarbones. Reminding you, try not to let the shoulders cave in. This is all for the movement in our necks. Let's go ahead and trace the chin on the collarbone now. Inhale. On the exhale, trace your chin along the line of your right collarbone. It's safety there. If the chin starts to leave the collarbone, maybe stop at that point. See if you can explore the end of the range again to that acromial process. Inhale it back through center, and on the exhale, sweep it around to the left. Carve out that path. Maybe some clicks and snaps as the joints start to mobilize. Inhale back through center. On the exhale, reaffirm press of sit bones, fingertips, pull the low ribs in, bring the heart nice and tall, the head will come up. Inhale. Exhale, lift the crown of the head right up tall, and then push the heart forward. See if you can find that shape from behind your heart all the way to the back of the skull as you start to lower the head back. Find as many vertebrae to share the movement as possible, especially the ones that you don't normally move from. See if you can encourage that. Provided no dizziness or pain in the spine, let the head release. Inhale the head back up to center. And exhale. Nice start. Let's take our hands, L-shaped hands, take the thumbs on tops of the thighs. We find a grounding of our thigh bones so we can mobilize the pelvis. Stability in the thighs, mobility in the pelvis. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, start to rock forward. Your thighs are your stable platform now. Rock the pelvis. Sit bones will come up off the ground slightly. Pull the low ribs in and tuck the chin and bring the crown of your head way to the top of your mat. So this is our hood ornament, right? The longest spine you have, using your belly and your back muscles to decelerate yourself towards the ground. Let's add our down dog arms now. Take your arms or elbows to your side, your palms are up. Neck is very free. Inhale. On the exhale, reach way out with your hands. Index fingers are forward, thumbs towards each other. Sets our shoulders in a good external rotation. Imaginary marble under your index, roll it towards your thumb to hold that inside of the hand down. Press the fingertips into the ground to pucker the palms. The wrist creases stay right where they are, and then roll the elbow creases to the sky. Look what happens. Your shoulder blades start to adhere onto the rib cage, and then see if you can descend your elbows to the ground or maybe to a prop. Reminding you, your sit bones are off the ground now. We're resting on the thighs. Press the hands and elbows into the earth, pull them back towards the knees, and then bring the crown of your head to the front of your mat, and you're unbridling the spine here, lengthening, decompressing, fighting all those gravitational forces during the day. We find the freedom. Nice, yogis. Walk your hands back up again to tall sit position. Switch your legs now to your uncommon cross. Let's take our hands up for our cactus arms, widespread fingers. Open and close the hands. See if you can bring some energy and awareness into your palms. Free them up. Widespread fingers. Take the thumbs backwards for hitchhiker shoulders. Inhale, exhale, drop the thumbs back. The thumbs will drop back. We externally rotate from the ball and socket in our shoulders. Again, trying not to move the spine so much, but just in the shoulder joints. Inhale the hands forward, and on the exhale, drop them down. The laundry drops over the line. Feel the warmth starting in your bodies, right? The lubrication, the viscosity changing, and the fluids. Taking the hands up again. Inhale, exhale, take them back. Just like letting your car warm up in the morning on a cold morning, get the oil through the chassis, that's exactly what you're doing. Drop them back down. That's why it feels so good after practice. Our joints have been lubricated. We can move again. Inhale them up. And exhale, take them together for your fly machine arms. Turn the palms to face you. Inhale. On the exhale, push up. Push the sides of the hands and elbows up and slowly rise up. Maybe you'll get them up by your third eye, maybe your chin, wherever they end up. Pull them apart, index and middle touch. Inhale, and on the exhale, take them down. Resetting our whole shoulder girdle complex. You know I love doing 3 of these. Let's go through them. Take them up and around. Wonderful one to do after sitting or driving. Kind of freeze it all up. Last one, marry breath with movement. Inhale. And exhale, take them back down to your side. Elbows at the side, turn your light bulbs. Find the freedom in your hands. So not stiff, but as free as possible. Come on back up to your queen wave. Up to hallelujah, arms up overhead. Back into queen wave. And back into light bulb hands. Go ahead and shake them out for a moment. We'll find our pterodactyl arms here, up nice and easy. Remember, no upper trap. Shoulders don't come to ears. Shoulders release down, and we find stability in the rotator cuff and deltoid muscles. Grab your tennis balls. Pterodactyls, go ahead and catch a thermal here. Let's take flight. Start to warm up. Touch the ground, fly back up. Find that connection and release, how free the arms become. All the tension starting to leave. Pterodactyls turn into eagles, right on top, left on bottom, elbows. Fingers of left hand into the palm of the right. Perhaps you guys know how to customize this. Just unwind it a bit if it's too much. Inhale. On your exhale, push your right elbow into your left. Draw the shoulder blades forward. It's protraction of the shoulder blades. Inhale them back to center. And on the exhale, you pinch the pencil between the shoulder blades. Pull them back. Mobilize that thoracic spine. Bring some awareness to that mid-back. Inhale, arms back to center. Exhale, take them to the right. We stretch behind the left shoulder, taking it around. Turn your gaze, now look over your right shoulder. See how free the neck has become. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, arms first. Feel the muscular stretch on the right, the mobilization of the joint on the left, your shoulder. And then turn your gaze over left shoulder. All the pieces starting to free up. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, let the elbows release down towards the ribs. So this is first just shoulder blades riding up the back, and then start to round the spine. Left elbow might touch bottom of rib cage, and maybe let your head free up, direct the crown of the head towards the earth. Inhale back up, and on the exhale, pull the low ribs in, guard that segment, and then take the elbows up. Yeah, the shoulder blades will slide down the back. And my favorite piece of this, the imaginary hand, push the heart towards the sky. Elbows go up. We find that beautiful arcing movement. And then see if you can let your head release back to complete the extension of the spine. Wonderful, yogis. Come on back to center. Inhale. Exhale, release those eagle arms down. Yummy, yummy. And left on top, right on bottom. Customize, be sure you start off in an advantageous position. Inhale, exhale, take left into right, draw those blades forward, find that freed motion of shoulder blades riding on ribs. Inhale back to center, exhale, pinch it back together. Maybe you'll get a little snap and mobilization in that center of your back. Inhale back to center, exhale, right hand turn with the arms. Look over the right shoulder. More and more movement each time, right? Inhale back to center. Exhale, left arms. Gaze. Turn and look over left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, drop the elbows first. Blades right up. Start to bring the awareness to the spine and round the spine. Crown of the head towards the ground. Inhale back up. On the exhale, low ribs pull in, elbows go back up. Imaginary hand pushes the heart to the sky, and the elbows come up, and maybe the head will release back. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release. Thumbs go right onto the tops of the thighs. This round, you figure out how to get back into this forward fold. Use the stability components and what's rolling in the pelvis. Bring your arms out for your doggy arms first, and down into your sphinx arms. Press the hands and elbows and bring the crown of the head towards the top of the mat. And then just let the head release. Feel how free it's become now. Maybe a beautiful stretch all the way into your low back. Inhale the head back up, and exhale, walk them back up. Let's do a little twist while we're here. Right hand on the left knee, and left hand behind you, just wherever they feel like they're easy to go to begin. Inhale. Exhale, lift up first, and then slowly start to twist the rib cage to the left. Try to keep the gaze forward to start with. See where the movement's coming from, and then add the head to it. at the last moment. We've already freed up our neck a bunch. See how that feels. Inhale the head back forward. On the exhale, bring the arms around other side. So left hand goes on right knee, right hand behind, lift. Inhale. On the exhale, start the twist of the cage. Rib cage turns. And then add the head in at the end. Look over the right shoulder. Inhale back. And on the exhale, we got a low hovering helicopter here. Take those arms around low level and see where they end up this time. Maybe your right hand will be on your thigh, maybe even by your hip. And where's your left hand? Maybe a little further back behind. Let's repeat. Inhale. Exhale, use the hands at the last moment. First twist from the rib cage, and then use the arms, and then turn the head. Look what's happened. We're starting to open up this system. Bring the head back on the inhale. Exhale, low hovering arms. Left will maybe find its way back a little bit farther. Right hand behind, twist the rib cage first, and then use the arms to help. Inhale the head back to center. Now we got a high flying copter. Take them way up. Inhale them up. Then on the exhale, maybe they'll land way back and maybe they'll be in exactly the same position. It does not matter. Wherever they are, use them to help in your twist. Inhale back. Big helicopter arms come up. Let them release back wherever they land. Feel the warmth in your bodies. Use the hands to help for a little twisty. Nice. And let's bring it back forward. Okay, that's a lot of sitting. Let's go ahead off our blankets, move them out of the way, open up the legs, start our spinal adventure. Curl your toes under, right foot, and send the heel to the back of the room. Feels so good, doesn't it, after sitting like that, just to open up the posterior body there, the hamstrings and gastroc muscles. Inhale the body weight forward onto the tips of the toes, round over under the top of the foot, and find the plantar flexion component of this. So the opposite movement of your ankle. Inhale on your exhale. See if you can feel all the bones in your feet. There's a lot of them. Articulate as you push your heel to the back of the room, right from the toes through the entire foot and ankle. Nice, yogis. Draw the right leg forward. Do the same with the left. Take the toes, curl them under left foot. Heel all the way back. Crown forward. Back of the knee towards the sky. Start to feel that gastrocnemius muscle start to release as it goes over the knee. Inhale the body weight forward onto the tips of the toes. Round over onto the top of the foot. Feel that plantar flexion now in the ankle. Inhale, and on your exhale, roll it back. Push all the way back. Heel way to the back. Going to draw the left knee forward. Let's sit back in Virasana now. Your version thereof, it's the opposite movement for your ankles. It's plantar flexion. If it's too much, we know how to modify this or customize it. Put a blanket underneath the instep. If it's your ankles, if it's your knees, maybe a blanket underneath, or maybe even sit up on a block. This is your practice, so feel what's best for you. Put your right hand on your right knee and lift your shin. Clear the fascia of that anterior shin. Do the same thing on the left. Take your hands back behind you, put your thumbs on the little toes or the sides of your feet and draw the elbows in. Pull the low ribs in too and lean back a little bit farther. Inhale. On the exhale, bend your right elbow, look over your right shoulder. We'll extend and rotate through the spine. Inhale back through center. And on the exhale, bend the left elbow, look over the left shoulder. Inhale back through center, and on the exhale, see if you can lean back a little bit more. Bend the elbows. Inhale. On the exhale, lift your buttocks off your heels. Try not to come into this with a big low back arch. It's very mobile, so don't do that. It doesn't look so good. Pull the low ribs in, guard that, and push the front of the pelvis forward. You might feel it like I do, all the way down my thighs, right over my kneecaps as we stretch our quadriceps. Maybe more on the top of the pelvis where the hip flexors are. Inhale. On your exhale, slowly let the pelvis release back down. The sit bones might go outside the heels. Draw yourself forward. Launch your child, decelerating child, very slowly down to the earth. Try to keep the buttocks back towards the heels or whatever prop you might be on. Allow the forehead to release to the ground or to a prop and pause for a moment there. Peer down into the earth through that third eye. Inhale yourself back up by pulling your belly in and lifting. Exhale, reach back with the hands where we just were and lean back. See if you can come onto the tops of the feet now as you take your shins off the ground. A gigantic stretch of the fronts of our ankles and shins. Beautiful, yogis. Go ahead and release those shins back down again. Let the child very slowly, praying child, release down towards the earth. Forehead will touch. Inhale, back up again, belly pulls in. Exhale, shoulders round over, hands go back behind us. Inhale. Exhale, lift the hips again like we just did. Modified camel now. Bring it up into the low belly. Pull the low ribs in. Open the heart towards the sky. The blades will release back. And see if it's right for you. Let your head release back. So taking some of the component out of this, of camel, allowing this upper thoracic spine to release. Inhale your head back to neutral. Tuck your chin. Let your sit bones release again. Last time, launch that child towards the earth. Our core letting us down. Forehead will touch. And you'll inhale back up again. Exhale, let the shoulders release back behind. Beautiful. Come onto all fours. Take the legs back. Your knees are underneath your hips. Curl your toes under. We'll make our way back in 4 rounds. Inhale. On the exhale, push back. Open the sit bones to the sides of the mat. Arch the low back. We've already been through some of this in the last pose. Inhale forward, release onto the feet. Let the pelvis start to come forward. Again, we've done a bit of this already, opening the hip flexors. Inhale back, curl the toes under. Come halfway back now, maybe deepening the hip creases and knees. Forehead doesn't touch the ground yet, but we start to find the opening through the upper back. Inhale forward, release the feet again. This time, hang your cobra. Let the pelvis start to release down and feel your heart open. We've got very stable shoulders because our hands are pressing the earth. Don't drop down. And see if you can let that hang for a moment. Maybe look over the right shoulder and left shoulder. If the low back's pinchy, maybe slide a block underneath the pubic bone. Inhale up, curl the toes under, and this time with the toes curled under, push all the way back. See if you can find your down dog arms, your sphinx arms, and then the forehead resting down on the ground. Elbows down. Inhale back up, feet release. I love this sequence, opening the heart through, finding all the movement in our spines. Let's bend the elbow this time, yogis. Put your pelvis down onto the earth so we find this deep opening of our upper back. Inhale back up to neutral. Curl the toes under and go into your own cat-cow now. Just explore through, flexing and extending, like a rope being lassoed out, right? Finding that undulation and softening through all the spinal segments. Take a moment to do what feels right for you, maybe some side winding, maybe some elbow bending. See what feels right for you and your body this morning, this afternoon, wherever you're at, opening up the system. Nice. Let's do our twisted child this morning. Feels like a great day to do that. So same start position here. Toes curled under, arch the low back, spread the sit bones, send them to the back of the mat, and try not to change your pelvic position. Take your left hand forward onto the mat. Inhale the right hand out to the right side. So notice it's easy to get your hand high to the ground if you shift your pelvis over to the right. So maybe this morning, shift your pelvis over, look what happens to your hand, and then shift it back again. The hand comes down, but we keep our spine and sacroiliac joints in a great position. So hang out here for a moment, take that hand up, build some sweat, some strength. Big inhale, and on your exhale, slide it through, thread the needle. Take the right arm underneath. Shoulder goes down, the side of your head goes down. Check today, take your left hand onto your sacrum and try to see that your sacrum is level to the ground and it's not tilted right or left. Take the left hand back down onto the ground. Slide the right arm through a bit farther. You'll feel that shoulder blade protract, and then turn the palm up and down a few times to internally and externally rotate that right ball and socket shoulder. Yeah. Palm comes to rest, it's up and slide it through. Walk the left hand out now. Left hand will reach to the very top of your mat and start to feel your latissimus dorsi muscle stretch on the left side, that big side body muscle. Crawl that left hand around, see if maybe you can get your left elbow over that left ear, flatten the left palm to the earth, and then maybe try to sit the sit bones back a little bit more, another way to access the muscle. Slide the left hand back to the center of your mat, slide it down, it'll be just in front of your right elbow. Keep it on the ground, inhale. Exhale, push the left hand into the earth and you'll see your spine will rotate more. We rotate from the ribs up. You can feel the thoracic spine, all the ribs attached, that's where the rotation is. If you've got it in, you take your left hand back onto your sacrum, push into the sacrum and see if you can find a bit more rotation. Some of you might be able to slip your left hand into the right hip crease and use that as another impetus for rotation. Check that your head isn't pushing too hard into the ground. Release the hand wherever it is, put it back down onto the earth. Inhale on your exhale, draw yourself back up. Yummy! Take the left hand forward, let's do the other side. Or right hand forward, sorry. Inhale, on the exhale, take lefty up. Reach way up. Way up you go. Inhale, and on your exhale, slide through. So the left arm goes underneath, the opposite side. Check your sit bone. Turn the palm up and down a few times, articulating that ball and socket in your shoulder. Have it come to rest, the palm is up and slide it through a little bit more maybe. Take your right arm now and walk it out. Way up the mat it goes. See if you can crawl up past the top of your mat, yes. Then crawl around to the left. See if you can get your right elbow over your right ear. Maybe flatten the palm and then sit back a little bit. Big stretch down the whole left side from your shoulder blade down into the fascia of your mid-back, low back. Take the right hand back to center, slide it down. It's going to end up in front of the left elbow. Inhale, and on your exhale, push the right hand into the earth and rotate. Take the right hand onto your sacrum, push it into the sacrum. That will help rotation. And some of you will slip your right hand into the left hip crease and use that for your last hurrah, a big twist through that rib cage. Inhale, and on the exhale, push yourself back up, tall position. Let's do some lunging today. Take your left foot forward, please. We balance on our right knee. You might need a pad underneath your knee. Slide your blanket underneath. Left foot should be forward of the knee so that when we bring ourselves forward, the knee will come over the ankle. This is designed to stretch the hip flexor complex. It's all in the front of your hip, right? So it's easy to come into this with a really big back arch. Contain that by holding your ribs in. Here we go, yogis. Hands on your pelvis. Inhale. On your exhale, push the top of the right foot down into the earth. That's the anchor, right? It holds us. And then glide the left knee forward. If the right foot isn't pressing, you'll come into a low back arch. But if it is, the stretch is right here on the front of that right hip. Iliopsoas complex. Inhale your right arm up. Reach up. How long is the right side of your body now? See if you can pause for a moment here and reach. Some of you pull the belly in. Everybody pull the belly in. Some of you look up. See if you can hold your balance there. If you start to get wobbly, press the feet or the left foot and right foot into the earth and take it back. See if you can see your hand as it goes back from the opening of your upper back. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right hand down to the pelvis. Come onto the point of the right knee. Pull in your whole core so that when you switch your legs to the other side, it's not so wobbly. And if it is, see what you can do to find those muscles. Right foot forward of the knee. Inhale. On the exhale, push the top of the left foot into the earth. Find that ground. And then draw the right knee. Glide it forward, opening up the left hip flexors. Something feels so good about pulling the belly in and pushing the pelvis forward like a thrust motion to get that big old stretch. Inhale the left arm up. Keep the gaze forward first and see if you can find a back bend from your upper back. Some of you will look up and see your thumb as it goes back behind you. Keep the press of the feet for the stability. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left hand onto the hip. Come onto your left knee. Switch the legs back around again with your big old stable core. We'll repeat and go into a little deeper each time. Maybe stop at this point if it's already enough. Inhale. Exhale, push the top of the right foot into the earth. Draw it forward. The body already remembers this. I get this now. Inhale the arm up. Exhale, look back. Inhale back to neutral. On the exhale, take the right hand to the left side. We open our side bodies. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right hand to hip. Onto the knee point. This is going to be very familiar. Switch back to the other side. Inhale, exhale, left foot holds the ground. We find the big opening of the hip. The belly stays in. The heart is huge. Inhale the left hand up. Look up and back. Inhale back to center. Exhale, take it across your body. Open the side body. Find your balance. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hand on the hip. Switch your legs back. Left one comes forward. Inhale. Exhale, right foot presses. A little bit faster into the pose. Inhale the arm up. Maybe try to look up this time and take it back so gracefully. Inhale forward. Deep hip flexion. The spine stays long. We don't round. And reach forward with that right hand like we're going to shake somebody's hand way out in front of you. See if you might be able to get the right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Put your palms together. Your thumbs, look at your thumbs. Inhale. And on the exhale, watch your thumbs as they go onto your heart center, not your shoulder. And take your left elbow up if possible for the archer's elbow. Use the right elbow to create rotation and the left elbow to lift. Maybe look up. Inhale back to center. Wonderful. Onto the right knee point. Switch the legs back around again. Right one forward. Inhale, exhale. Left foot presses. Draw it forward. You can start to feel the tissues are more open now, hopefully. Inhale the left arm up. Look up perhaps and back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, reach forward. Deepen the hip flexion in the right hip. Reach way out. Keep the spine nice and long. Left elbow outside right knee, palms together. Look at your thumbs. Inhale, exhale. Put your thumbs onto your heart and take your right elbow up to the sky. Use the left elbow to push and the right elbow to lift. See if you can find your rotation. Bring it back again on the inhale. Exhale, take your right leg back. Let's go into camel now. Turn your toes underneath. Some of you might have blocks behind you or have a bolster. The idea here is that we're not going to come back by bending the knees so much, and certainly not by going into too much of an opening of the belly, but really from your upper back. Let's try it. Take your hands onto your buttocks. And then your palms are kind of in the small of your back. Your fingers are down on your buns. Bring your elbows in nice and tight. Inhale. On your exhale, use your hands to push your pelvis forward as if your pelvis was touching a wall. Crown of the head really long to the ceiling. Inhale again, and on the exhale, push forward and start to lean back from the opening of your upper back. Still keep your chin slightly tucked. Perhaps some of you will get your hands back onto your heels or onto some blocks. Keep the elbows pulled in, the belly pulled in, and the heart huge. Perhaps some of you will let your heads release back now. No dizziness, no pain in the spine. See if you can find your interpretation of the camel. Inhale the head back to center. Exhale, let's release back. Virasana again. Thumbs back to heels. Let's see if we can go a little deeper into Virasana, some of us. So if this is already challenging you, I suggest you just keep your hands here and maybe just work on pushing the pelvis up. For those of you who feel like you can go deeper, let's try it. So come up and take the knees apart a little bit. Take your thumbs onto the flesh of your calves and very lightly move the muscle tissue out of the way without messing with the bones, and see if maybe you can get your buttocks to sit back between your heels. So many times when people sit their buttocks back, their knees come apart. Either use your hands to mechanically pull them together, or perhaps take a strap and put the strap around your legs. Sit for a moment here, pressing the hands to the thighs, opening the heart, crown of the head up to the sky. For some of you, Virasana doesn't work, so customize Figure out what might be a good way for you to stretch your quadriceps. Take your hands back if it works for you. Put your palms down onto the bottoms of your feet and pull your elbows in. Let's go ahead and lift our pelvis now. Open the fronts of the hips. Release the pelvis back down. Shake it out. Maybe you'll release back onto your elbows. Your hands hold your feet. Keep your knees together. Let's pulse the pelvis again. Lift the pelvis off the ground. Oh, yummy. Feel the stretch of that quadriceps and hip flexor muscles. And as you put it down, it relaxes and releases. You might already be at your limit. If you can and feel like you've got it in you without arching the back too much, let yourself back onto your back. Knees stay together. Pelvis, sacrum moving towards the earth. Maybe even your hands on the top of your pelvis. It's a wonderful release for the sacroiliac joints. And maybe even take your arms up over your head and reach to the back of your mat. Open that up for a moment. Hands come back, elbows to the earth. Pull yourself back up, tall sit position. Let's go into our sitting pretty. Right foot, left thigh, left foot back behind you. Toes can be straight back or foot can be turned out. Some of you might be sitting with your left hip way up. That's probably the most common thing because the internal rotation isn't there. If that's the case, take a blanket underneath your right butt cheek. It'll level off your pelvis. Your left cheek will be off the ground, but your pelvis will be level. Let's go ahead and rotate this left hip. That's where the tightness is on most people. Take your hands back behind you. Keep your heart wide open. I've already prepped you with the opening of your hip flexors. Let's see how that feels. Inhale. On the exhale, without moving your chest, take your left hip forward. Lift your butt cheek off the ground so we expose open the whole front of the left hip. Let's bring it back down. Take your L hand back onto your thigh. Your index is towards your groin. And as your hip releases your pelvis to the ground, internally rotate the femur so that ideally the sit bone goes on the ground and the femur goes deep into its house. Take your hand back again. Inhale. Exhale, push the left hip forward, open those hip flexors. And this round, take the middle finger of your left hand onto the sit bone left side and see if you can squash your middle finger with your sit bone. Another way of trying to guide that into place. Use either one of those or just do your mind's eye for the third round. Push the hip forward and release it down. Internally rotating left hip and externally rotating right hip. Beautiful. Let's take our arms up today. We'll add some new things into this today. Reach up, fingers to the sky, sit bones down into the earth. Take your right hand around the left, push the palms together, squeeze the elbows to the ears, ribs in and back, bend your upper back. It's the beauty of our yoga practice. It never has to be exactly the same, right? Beautiful. Release your hands back down to the floor and let's go into a twist. Take your left leg over your right leg. We did some twisties before at the beginning, except we were sitting in half lotus, so it's different. Palms to the ground, lift. Shake out the pelvis, put your sit bones down. We find this big, long spine, hand on the knee, big open heart. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, keep the nose over the knee and make a right hand turn. The ribs, you can see the lines in my shirt if you're looking at the screen. That's what's happening underneath your clothes into the fascia, starting to unwind and twist. When you've gotten yourself around as far as you can, look over your right little finger, look at the gaze back. Inhale back to center, and on the exhale, keep the nose over the knee first. Find the rotation through the rib cage with your muscular power, and then look over little finger left hand. Inhale back to center, exhale, take it to the right again, just what we did. And this time, use your helicopter arms, release them down, and promote the twist. Perhaps you can feel the movement now is much greater than it was at the start of the practice. Maybe not. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn from your muscles, and then release the arms. Use that for your twist. Inhale back to center. Release the hands back. We'll lean back onto our sacrums. Use your core and your muscle strength. Bring the legs back around where we found them. So left foot on right thigh. Big open heart. Inhale. On your exhale, twist your rib cage. Let's look around to the left. See if you can put your Arms down now. So you got staggered Sphinx arms. Right elbow, left knee. Press the hands into the earth and lengthen out. Feel that long, long body. It's the spine we're trying to decompress. Pause here for a moment. Walk the right hand forward. Do the same thing. Press hands into the ground and lengthen. Make your pillow arms. Let your forehead rest down onto your pillow arms. Maybe rotate the heart a little bit more towards the earth and then straighten out your right leg. Push it way down the mat and find Tadasana leg. So that right leg is really long, and then crawl into the back of the mat. All the prep work we've done with our hip flexors already. See if maybe you can feel all that work here has opened up the front of that right hip. Breath or two. Gather your limb back in again and come sit up nice and tall. Let's go ahead and open ourselves out to the side. Reach out with your hand. Put the elbow down. Thumb goes into the armpit and lengthen the body. Again, this long body. Rotate the heart towards the sky. Look up. Inhale the right arm up. Grab the cloud off the sky and take it across town. Reach way out. Pause here. Left hand is going to press the earth. We find stability as you reach out with that right arm. Maybe even let the left ear go toward the left shoulder. Inhale back up again and switch to the other side. Elbow might go to the hip, to the leg, or under the ground, or onto a prop. And reach out with the left hand for the rusty gate side. Inhale back up again, our Saramonte arms. Down they go. You Californians or Northern Californians will know what I mean by that. And inhale back up again and to the other side. Beautiful. Come on back to position. Hang out for a moment here. See what we've done to our bodies. See what's up, see what's down. Beautiful. I think I messed up with the legs here, but that's okay. Let's start with left foot on right thigh now. So this time, the blanket's going to go under the left side. So left foot on right thigh, right foot back behind you, tall body. If your right hip is not internally rotating, put the blanket underneath the left sit bone. Take your hands back behind you. Inhale. On the exhale, push your right hip forward. You open those hip flexors. First round, L hand. Release down, sit bone goes to the earth, and we internally spiral. Inhale. Exhale, push it forward again. Open the hip flexors. Second round, middle finger on sit bone. Sit it back. Third round, inhale, exhale, take it forward. And release in your mind's eye. Let it release down towards the earth. Big open heart, crown of the head to the sky. Beautiful. Let's take the right leg around the left for our twist. Fist to the earth, shake it out, put the pelvis down, big toe down, hand on the knee, big open heart. Arms come up on the inhale. On the exhale, nose stays over the knee, make an open twist to the left. Turn from the cage, use the muscles. Head turns last, look over little finger, left hand. Inhale back to center, exhale around. Nose over knee, then let it free. Inhale back to center, exhale left. Release your helicopter arms, use those for your impetus for opening. Inhale back to center, exhale opposite. Release, open. Inhale back to center. Take your leg back where you found it. And we're going to have to reverse the legs because I messed up first round. Put them back the other way and let's go out. Lengthen out your body. Lengthen way out. Use your staggered Sphinx arms. Left elbow, right knee, right hand forward. Pull forward. Take the left arm forward. So you have Sphinx arms now, press hands and elbows into earth, find that long body. Reminding you if the underneath leg is pinchy, take the right knee forward a little bit, it'll decrease the pinch. Find that long body and then go ahead and lie down. Put your forehead onto your forearms. And then straighten out your left leg, push way back. Take it back behind you, open those hip flexors. Maybe try to bring the heart towards the earth a little bit more. Bring the body parts back in again, leg comes in. We crawl our way back up again, move into the gate pose. Take the right hand down, put the elbow down, stability in the shoulder, open the big heart, thumb in the armpit, lengthen out and rotate. Inhale, arm goes up, exhale, it comes across the body line. Longest body ever. Warm now, right? Starting to open up. Let's switch our arms, other side. Elbow can go down wherever it's comfortable, or maybe not so comfortable, and take the arm across. Inhale up, Saramonte arms, down you go, reach out. And inhale back up, and exhale, opposite. Bring it back to center, close your eyes for a moment again. What do things feel like here? Beautiful. Let's make our way down to the mat. We'll work some abdominals on our way down. Have your feet on the earth. Press them into the earth and arch your back. Your hands can be on the knees like this and find this very long body. Start to lean back, and as we lean back, the heart stays open. You've got to use your core to hold you in position. Stop along the road here anytime, especially if your heart starts to cave in and you lose the curves in your spine. Lean back. Let your toes come off the ground. Your heels will stay back, and switch your hands to behind your knees. See if you might be able to lean back a little bit farther. Heart stays open. Neck is soft. Take your right foot up. Take your left foot up. Balance on your sacrum. Spread your toes. Look down at your feet and see if you can see space between your toes. Maybe you'll be able to take your hands off the back of your legs and still maintain your open heart. Maybe you'll straighten out your legs. Find this beautiful open boat. To make it a little bit more difficult, start to lean back. That's going to require that you use your core even more. Maybe take it to the point where you start to bounce a little bit and then pull out of that for stability. Put your feet down on the ground, pull forward. Do it one more time. Press the feet first and lean back. Onto your heels, lean back. Feet come up, spread the toes. Release the arms, straighten the legs. Maybe add the arms to it this time, up and down with your arms. Keep yourself breathing. Good, hands back behind the knees. Waiting for dinner, take your arms out in front of you. Inhale, on the exhale, use your core to lower back down to the earth. Very slowly, starting to find the abdominals to hold. We start to uncoil the spine, put it back down on the earth. Grab your knees, take them to your chest. Beautiful. Inhale, and on the exhale, imprint your sacrum to the earth. So that's the bone between your two pelvic bones. Push it down onto the earth, and your low back will arch away from the ground slightly. See if you can keep the idea of the imprint of that sacrum as you start to circle your knees from out to in. If your sacrum isn't imprinted, the whole thing will start to roll. So what I'm asking for is stability in your pelvis and mobility in your hips. Reverse it now into out with the hips. Start to open the space, the ball and socket, and lubricate. Okay, back decompression time. Take your hands onto your patellar tendons right below the kneecaps. Never a great idea to press into the kneecaps. Inhale. On the exhale, push your sacrum down. Press the knees up and pull the hands down, and your whole low back will come all off the ground and you'll decompress the spine. Slowly release the press of the hands and the knees, and the back will release. It won't flatten, but it will release towards the earth. Let's do it one more time. Inhale.
On the exhale, push the knees up into the hands down into the knees. The sacrum presses into the earth. We find this glorious decompression. Nice. Yogis, go ahead and release that. Nice and easy. Okay, crazy legs, knees together, feet apart, arms out in a T. Inhale. On your exhale, let your right knee slide down the inside of the left shin. Remember, on this one, we don't let the left leg just open up. We keep the knee adhered to the opposite shin to strengthen the muscles and protect our sacroiliac joints. Inhale, the legs back up to center, and on the exhale, let them go to the opposite side. It's a very controlled movement. Please do this several times now, marrying the breath with the movement, meaning inhale, legs up to center, exhale, let them drop to the sides. When you're ready, add the arms. Take the thumbs into the elbow creases. The forearms are right above the chin. As the legs go one way, the arms go the opposite way. Inhale back to center, legs one way, arms opposite. Start to unwind and wind. Add the head to it. So inhale back to center. On the exhale, the head will follow the knees as the elbows go in the opposite direction. Inhale back to center, head and knees one way, arms the opposite. Add the eyeballs. Eyeballs can follow elbows, while head follows knees. Eyeballs, elbows, head, knees. Starts to lull you into a deep, quiet space. Bring them back to center. Let's move right into open book chalk trace. Roll over onto your right side. Hips, knees, and ankles at 90 degrees. Palms flat together, head on the earth or on a mat or a blanket, whatever you need to hold your alignment. Big inhale. Exhale, slide the left hand up the forearm over the bicep and have it come to rest on the heart. Take the left elbow way up to the sky, broaden your upper back. Inhale. And on your exhale, don't think about bringing your shoulder to the ground. Think about the rib cage starting to rotate to the left. Start at the last rib and come up through the whole cage. And what will happen, the shoulder will release down. The idea here is we keep our knees together and don't lead with the shoulder, and it will eventually release to the ground or up or up. How do we get it to go farther? Bend the right elbow, fingertips, right hand to the sky. Inhale. On the exhale, push the right elbow into the earth, lift the heart, and rotate that thoracic cage. You'll see your tricep will come closer to the ground. Do it one more time. Inhale. Exhale, push the right elbow into the earth, lift the heart, and rotate. And then if your arm is close enough to the ground, unfurl the arms like a flag and see what you have done here. Open that whole thoracic cage. How about breathing into the left lung for a moment here while we're squishing it? See if you can find the lung. And breathe some yumminess into that. Inhale the left hand up to the sky. Grab the cloud off the sky. Imprint it onto your right palm and slide it through to protract. Big inhale. And exhale, try to come right through the book this time, just right through the pages, leaf right through them and see if the second round, oh my goodness, I'm so much more aware, if nothing else, of where the movement should come from. Pause in your open position for a moment. Inhale the left hand back up onto the right palm, slide it through. Bring the palms back to touch, and let's go right into chalk trace. Take an imaginary piece of chalk in the thumb and index of your left hand. It's on the ground. Keep it there. Inhale. Exhale. Start to sweep it up over your head. Watch your hand as it goes up over the head in a big arcing motion. If the thumb and index leave the ground, that's where you should stop. If not, come all the way through it, circumducting the shoulder. Oh my goodness, feels so good to open all that up. Keep the knees together. Ask the shoulder and upper back to do the movement. Wherever you are in your final movement on this first round, pause for a moment. We've gotten rid of the idea that everybody has to be doing the same thing. It's never going to happen, nor do we want it to. Big inhale. And on the exhale, take the arm back up over the head. Find that big sweeping motion and come on back to your start position. Let's do that one more time and observe where are you now compared to first round. Inhale. Exhale, take it up over your head. Big sweeping motion. Round the bend, perhaps, and come around and explore the opening now. Big inhale. Exhale, take it back up overhead, sweeping movement, and back to start. Let's switch to the other side, but we'll use our core to do this. So let's start in the same motion. Inhale. Exhale, slide the left hand up the forearm, have it come to rest on the heart. Pull your belly in, inhale, and on the exhale, lift the knees to the sky and roll yourself over nice and easy onto the other side. Beautiful. It's like a sweet little dance. So we're on the left side now. Head on the ground or on a prop, hips, knees, and ankles 90 degrees, palms touch. Inhale. Exhale, slide the right hand up the forearm over the bicep and onto the chest, elbow to the sky, pause for a moment. And slowly start to rotate it around. Maybe you guys can feel some of the same I am from all the rotation we did in seating already. It's so much easier just to come down into place. Lubricate the joints. Bend the left elbow. Inhale. Exhale, push left elbow into ground. Lift the heart and rotate the cage. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, push the elbow down. Lift the heart and rotate. Maybe you'll unfurl your arms, turn your gaze towards that right hand. Reminding you we want to rotate from our thoracic spine, and if it's stiff, you end up tearing into your low back. It's the source of a lot of back trauma. See if we can open up your thoracic and leave your low back out of the rotations. Inhale the hand back up to the sky, grab the cloud off the sky, imprint it onto the palm, slide it forward to protract. And one sweeping movement now. Big inhale. Exhale. Guide the body through it. Right through. Open the book. Rifle through the pages. Yes. And open up. Look at your hand. A breath here. Inhale the hand back up. Grab the cloud off the sky. Imprint onto the palm and slide it forward. Bring it back to neutral. Inhale. Exhale, take it up overhead for your big sweeping movement. Thumb and index on the ground. Take it around. If your hand doesn't stay on the ground, don't complete the arc. See what your body does. Pause wherever you need to first round. Check your legs, they've stayed together. Inhale. Exhale, sweep it back up over, crown ahead, all the way around to start position. Inhale, exhale, last time. Zippity-doo-dah, up overhead you go. Find what you have done to this body of yours. Beautiful. Pause in the open position for a moment. Inhale, exhale, sweep it back around. And come on back to start position. All right, grab your straps, yogis. Let's get into our strings, hamstrings. On your back. Grab your strap. Open the strap up. Have one strap in each, or one piece of it in each hand, and put it on the sole of your right foot and straighten out your leg. So wherever your hip needs to be to have a straight knee, do that. Towel off the bottom of your foot now. Let it run from the metatarsals down to the heel, the ball to the heel. Protect your ankle. It's not flipping side to side. The ankle is stable. We're just warming the bottom of the foot. Feel that. Feel the warmth start. Your acupressure points are getting the idea here. Okay, let's release this whole system. Bring the strap to rest. It's on the metatarsals of the right foot. Your hands can be up on the strap, or the elbows can be down more like a lever, whatever feels right for you. Pull the strap down and push your foot up. Notice that the right quadricep contracts. That gives a signal to the hamstring to release. Okay, here's the important cue now. Push your sacrum to the earth. So as you push your sacrum to the earth, do you feel what I do here? The low back arches and your hamstring gets a little bit more of a tug. So as the pelvis moves in that anterior position, it takes the hamstring along with it for a nice little stretch. Try to keep the leg exactly where it is, the right leg, as you straighten out your left leg. Tadasana, both legs. Left leg active, right leg active for a moment, and then release and use the strap to help to encourage the movement. Rather than thinking of the whole thigh bone moving towards your face, think what's happening up in your hip. Soften the hip. Notice as you soften the hip, I can stretch my hamstring a little bit farther. Beautiful. 3 hamstrings. Let's go ahead and open up the inside one. So take the strap and put it into the right hand. Keep your hip where it is. What does that mean? Don't let it drop towards the bottom of your mat. Inhale. On the exhale, look at the toes of your right foot. They're going to move out to the right side. Watch them as they go out to the right side. They're going to stay towards the top of your mat and rotate your hip so your ankle bone, inside ankle bone, goes towards the sky. You got it, yogis. Right hand holds the strap, and maybe your left hand too, especially if your leg is a bit heavy. Use them both to steer that ship into position. Left leg's active, right leg a little softer. Let's pause here for a moment and really see if you can feel where you're maybe holding and let it soften. Turn those toes back a little bit more. Yes, beautiful. All right, inhale the leg back to straight leg raised position. Switch the strap to the left hand and let that right leg come across down 45 degrees. This is not a roll. This is the stretch to the outside hamstring, our biceps femoris. Sacrum stays imprinted. Go ahead and do it, and you'll see it will accentuate the stretch on that whole lateral side of that right leg. Bring the right leg back to straight leg raised position, and let's roll it now. Bend the left knee, put your foot on the floor. Inhale. On the exhale, push down into the ground, lift the pelvis just enough to clear it, and roll over onto your left side. This is now the combo platter of poses. We've done many of these separately, and now let's see if we can combine. So, head needs to be resting on a block or on the ground. Try not to hold the head with the neck muscles. Look at the big toe of the right foot and slide it up a little bit more. Hammy will stretch. Underneath leg, left leg will crawl to the back of the mat. And don't get a hamstring cramp by really contracting that hamstring to bend your knee, but instead maybe reach for the shin, foot, or toes of the left foot. And then we just did all that open book and rotating. Look what you're doing here, rotating through your thoracic spine. Bend the left elbow, use your trick again, push the elbow into the ground, lift the heart, and rotate through. Don't get into a position where you can't find your breath and you're waiting for me to say get out of this, but challenge yourself today. Use the strap to stretch the right hamstring, feel that, and use your right hand to open up that left quadricep a little bit more and rotate your ribs towards the ground. How glorious. Close your eyes, yogis. Luxuriate in your practice for a breath or 2 or 3. Forgetting about everything else, right? Nothing else matters right now. It's such a wonderful little respite away from our craziness to drop into our practice. Oh, beautiful. Release the underneath leg if you're holding it. Roll back under your back. The right leg is straight up to the sky. The left leg is down the mat. Split the strap again, 1 in each hand. And I'd love for you to do 4 long, slow, deep inhalation, exhalations. With every exhalation, use the strap to stretch the strings a little bit more. Remember that fine-tuning point that really gets it. Push your sacrum to the earth and it will go right into your hamstring. 4 long, slow, deep breaths. Bend the right knee, bend the left, put the foot on the floor. Take the strap off the bottom of the right foot. Lie the strap down next to your body on the side and straighten out both legs. Take a moment here. This is part of our practice too, to become in touch with our sensations. Each one of us would describe this slightly differently, but just recognize there is a difference now, right, between your right and your left legs. Let's see if we can get some bookends going here. Let's do the other side. Bend your knees, put your feet on the floor. Take the strap around the bottom of your left foot. Straighten out the left leg. Find what you have to do with your hip angle in order to have a straight left knee. And towel off the bottom of your foot. Now run it from ball to heel. We enliven our acupressure system here. Start to shift the energies through us. Have the strap come to rest now. It's on the metatarsals, the ball of the foot. Pull down on the strap, push up with the foot. Left quad will contract. Handy gets the message. Soften up. Push your sacrum down, yogis. And as you push the sacrum down, anterior tilt to the pelvis, arch in the low back, and accentuates the stretch of your hamstring. Inhale, and on your exhale, straighten out your right leg. Tadasana, right and left. They're both Tadasana legs. One is straight up and the other one is out on the ground. Identify right now where you're holding. Every single one of us is. There we go. Soften the shoulders, maybe. Soften the glutes. Find that beautiful long hamstring. Let's open up the inside string. So switch the belt to the left hand. Try not to let the hip drop forward, just right out to the side. Inhale. Exhale, look at the toes of the left foot. They're going to go out to the side. They're pointing towards the top of your mat. The inside ankle bone rolls to the sky. And use the strap in the left hand and perhaps also in the right hand to guide that heavy leg around to the left. We're not at war with our hamstrings anymore. It's a peace treaty. We're going to treat them so nicely. They're going to respond to our loving kindness, right? Pause for a moment to your sacrums down. Inhale the left leg up to straight leg raise. Switch the strap to the right hand and let it go across town 45 degrees. Sacrum stays down. Maybe this side. Take your L hand. Left thumb on the top of the hip, push down onto the femur, and look what happens. Your hamstring releases and your pelvis levels. Hold this for another breath or so, really feeling our lateral thigh, the biceps femoris component of the hammy get released. Take the leg back to straight leg raise. Let's roll it now. Bend the right knee, put the foot on the floor. Inhale, and on the exhale, lift up just enough to clear the pelvis, roll over onto your right side. So awesome. Big toe, left foot on the ground, head resting on a prop or on the ground. Go ahead and stretch that left hamstring up a little bit more, and then crawl the underneath leg to the back of the mat. You're almost guaranteed to get a major hamstring cramp if you just flex that right knee real quickly. So don't do that. Maybe reach up with the left hand for a moment, grab the shin, the ankle, the foot, and then slowly put your head back down on the ground, roll through the rib cage, pull with the right hand to stretch the hammy, pull with the left hand to stretch the quad, roll the shoulder blades towards the earth. You can do your trick with the right elbow, push it into the earth and roll, push it into the earth and roll. Yeah, beautiful. Don't go so deep that you're just waiting to get out, like I said, but more, oh my goodness, I can explore the end ranges here. And every time we practice going a little deeper into some of that unknown territory, yoga teaches us the safety limits. So listen to what your brain's telling you and can almost never go wrong with it. Nice. Release the underneath leg if you're holding it. Luxuriate onto your back again. Left leg long, right leg long. We'll do our 4 long, slow, deep inhalation, exhalations, marrying that stretch with the exhalation component, staying as cued into what you're doing as possible. Bend the left knee, bend the right knee, foot goes on the floor. Take the strap off from the foot, put the strap down, let your legs out nice and long. Feel what's going on in your system right now. Draw the heels back up, knees together, feet together. Take your arms out in a T. Inhale, and on the exhale, go ahead and let the legs move together as a unit over to the right side. So what's going to come up? Your butt cheek, and let your sacrum start to come up. And then control the roll as you roll over onto the right side. Your arm will come up just to the open book, and you'll be on your right side. Let's come back the same way. Big inhale. Exhale, start to bring the arm up. It'll rotate the rib cage, bring the legs up with the strength of your core, and then start the opposite side. Let the arm come down, left arm, let the legs start to slowly rotate. Bring the rest of the weight of the body over with you, and you end up on your left side. Come back through that again. Inhale the arm up. Use your core to initiate the movement with the legs. And let's do it several times, going a little bit faster each time. Strengthening our abdominal obliques, our deep core muscles, combining all these rotations. Try to do this with your eyes closed now. Just trust that your body's going to do what it's supposed to do and start to increase the speed side to side. Lubricating, strengthening, holding our awareness. Back and forth now a few times, increasing the speed. As little push off as possible, as much core work as possible to make it happen. Nice, come on back to center. Take your legs up to tabletop position. Take the right leg over the left for your eagle legs cross. Ideally crossed at the knees, right and left. Right foot goes behind left calf, perhaps, maybe not. Put your heels down. Lengthen out your legs. Let's use our right leg to stretch the left side body. Inhale. On the exhale, use the right leg to draw the legs over towards the right. You get into your waistline and down into glute med and tensor fasciae lata down into your iliotibial tract. Let's combine everything now with our roll. Inhale the legs back to center. On the exhale, left hand on the outside of the right thigh. Roll over onto your left side. Head is on the ground or on a prop. Look down, the right knee stays on the ground. You'll see this is combo of everything. Right hand on the heart, elbow lifts. Inhale. Exhale, roll from your rib cage. Look how free things have become. Maybe your tricep will go right onto the ground. You can use your elbow, left elbow press to rotate through the cage again, and then open those arms out, and your big T arms look towards your right fingers and soften into the pose. Again, we're holding, everybody does. Where is your hold? And if you can identify it, you'll see, okay, I can let that go. Inhale the right hand up, grab the cloud off the sky, imprint it onto the left hand and slide it through. Let's roll back onto our backs. Inhale, arm up, legs up. Uncross your legs and cross them up opposite. Left will go on top of right. So you can get your foot behind your calf, your heels down, your legs lengthen out. Use the left leg to stretch the right side body. Inhale, exhale, take legs to the left. Right side waistline, glutes, tensor fasciae lata, iliotibial awareness. Inhale the legs back up. On the exhale, right hand goes outside that left thigh. Roll over onto your right side. Yogis, head on the ground or on a prop. Left knee is on the earth. Left hand onto the heart. Elbow goes up to the sky. We inhale. And on the exhale, experience what you have done to that sweet body of yours. Open it. Press the elbow into the ground and lift, elbow into the ground and lift. Try to keep the left knee down as you unfurl the left arm. Open it up, turn the gaze towards the left fingers perhaps. Inhale the left hand back up, grab the cloud off the sky, imprint it onto your palm. Roll back onto your back, uncross your legs. Straighten out the legs down the mat, they go. Take your arms up over your head to the very top of the mat. Our long, beautiful yogi bodies. Close your eyes, envision your rib cage, the circumference of the cage. When we're all flexed forward, the circumference is small. When we're open like this, it's huge. I'll ask you to inhale in a moment and see if you can blow your balloons up, your lungs to the size of that huge rib cage. The bigger the rib cage, the more you can inhale. Let's try it. Inhale. Hold your breath at the end of the inhale for a moment, and then let the lungs recoil on the exhale and use your abdominals to push out the rest of the sludge. I want 4 of those, please. Inhaling and exhaling, trying to make your exhales twice as long as your inhales, pausing at the end of the inhale before the exhale. Observe your lungs and your rib cage. Look what we can do for our bodies and our minds. When you're ready, take your arms back to your side. Grab your mat with your fists. Inhale. On the exhale, push your fists towards your feet. Your body will push up the mat an inch or so. Bring your shoulder blades under you. Expose the heart. Turn your palms up. Cover your eyes with an eye bag or close them to block out the visuals. And start to let your bodies drift off into your Shavasana. Shavasana is our corpse pose. It's a productive rest. It's a lucid sleep. Touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your teeth. It's a ticket in to your relaxation. The system is aware now. We are deep down into our calming relaxation. Let the tongue release to the bottom of the mouth. Now the lips will part slightly. No tongue and no teeth, no gripping, no grinding. A soft, vacuous mouth. That signal gets sent down to the rest of the body. Let it all go. Feel yourself held by the earth, held by your family, by your friends, by our yoga community. Always support, always there. Float out for a minute or so now on your magic carpet, your magic mat. Often to maybe one of your favorite places you've been, would like to go to, or maybe just even imagine. Our yoga practices are constant for many of us. Every day, look forward to it, transports us into a calmness, into a homeostasis, that even balance. Our nervous system of sympathetic and parasympathetic is readjusted, and our body moves and our minds move into a calm and tranquil state.
shifting perspectives. And the marble on the back of your skull, let your head rock so slowly side to side. Start to bring the awareness back to the room. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. The physical bodies come around. When you're ready, bend your knees, slide your heels towards your buttocks. Glue your knees and ankles together and slowly transition onto that right side away from your heart. Transition position, often inspiring these wonderful thoughts as we roll over, thoughts of kindness, of generosity, of altruism and seva, or surface, or selfless service. Yoga is our fine-tuning of our minds and our bodies, attending to what needs to be softened, maybe strengthened. We find ourselves in side-lying position, reminding always of Loka Samasta, Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. We are a community. Many of us have never seen each other, and yet we're a community. I've gotten some notes these past few weeks from some of you beautiful people. So interesting for me too, not to be seeing you, and yet I know you're out there and I know we are connected. So thank you for your kind thoughts, and so grateful for our Sangha. Inhale. On your exhale, draw yourself back up to the seated position. Refreshed, rejuvenated, calm. Take your hands to the earth, fingertips to the earth's crown of the head, up to the sky. Find the grounding, find the lifting. Close your eyes, envision yourself a teeny tiny grain of sand sitting on this blue-green planet. So microscopically small in comparison to everything else, and yet so important to the whole. Every one of us contributing to the whole. Throw the energy up from the earth to your heart center, thumbs to the heart will rise. We pause here, reminding ourselves to be so grateful for all that we have. Inhale. On your exhale, let your hands float forward, fingertips touch, fingernails touch, hands open like a lotus. Bring in all the yumminess from all of us. Back around they go, thumbs to heart. Thumbs to your third eye between your eyebrows. The still contemplation, point and all-seeing eye, the ESP eye, our clarity spot. Let's bow to the fabric that binds us. Namaste. Oh my goodness, yogis, thank you so much. Wouldn't be Sunday without you. I have a lot of things coming up in the next few weeks. My boy Ike is redoing the website, the calendar portion, so you'll know what's happening. Many of you asked for longer practices starting, I believe, on the 18th of October. It's a Monday. We got a 3-hour practice in the afternoon. It's called Oasis Offerings. Look for it on the website or on Yoga Tree's websites. Thanks again. I'll be back again next Sunday, or come practice with me Tuesday, Thursday mornings at 7:30 on Yoga Tree Yoga Works website. I'm going to hang out